Welcome to Capitol View, where we get to see who's changing the look of the city. You've seen him on CNN, Fox News, Hardball, Netflix, and you've probably heard his voice on Sirius XM radio. Today, we get to see Mike Rogers from another point of view, Capitol View.
Hi, my name is Mike Rogers, and I'm the Executive Director of Netroots Connect, which is a national nonprofit based here in Washington, where we build collaborations between environmental groups, education groups, LGBT groups, and a variety of other causes to help folks bring together the various work that they're doing. And I'm also the owner of a website called rawstory.com. Well, with Raw Story, what we do is we've been very good at focusing on the undercovered stories that in the country that are not put out there on the front page. For example, the Ferguson story originally was kind of very low-key, and it was one of the stories that we focused on. More important, when George Bush and his illegal wars and the things that he did, we uncovered a lot of that, and we're the first website to do that. So in terms of pushing the envelope a little bit in terms of political news and really highlighting for people, that's our greatest accomplishment, in bringing those stories to the forefront. Well, part of what happens with both my investigation work and Raw Story is a lot of media companies will approach us and specifically ask me if I want to appear. So I've done cable news, I've done O'Reilly and MSNBC and CNN, a bunch of stuff along those lines. But also another hat that I wear in my spare time, I like to say, is I'm a guest host for Sirius XM radio. So I've been able to use the skill set of a reporter to step into the radio hosting chair and really use that skill set in terms of going after the subjects who, these politician types, they want to walk around the questions. And what I do is I make them stay on the path and force them to either answer the question or admit that they refuse to answer it. What got me into doing this? In 2004, I was incredibly frustrated that the Bush campaign was simultaneously beating up gay people, trying to put out the federal marriage amendment, and also trying to get reelected and using that. And yet so many of the people who were running that operation, right up to the top in Ken Melman at the Republican National Committee, who eventually we were proven right about. And he was proven as the real ringleader of this stuff, and he himself was hurting gay people and was running political campaigns. And I realized at that point that I had the skill set on the web, and I wanted to take that skill set and turn it into an investigative tool to start to expose people, people who use the hate of other people in order to maintain power. I find that unacceptable. How do I, Mike, get involved in using the internet to create change, and what other tools? And my response is always the same. It takes a little creativity, it takes an internet connection, and it generally takes a keyboard. I don't know if it can affect world change on a little phone, but sitting there and coming up with creative ideas. I'll give you one example. I wanted to move my messaging to staffers on Capitol Hill. So a lot of people, they say, well, let's take an ad out and all this. I'm like, no. Let's go online, get a list of people who work at the House, this is public information, and just figure out their emails based on that. And within 3 days, we built a list of 3,000 people who worked in the Capitol, that at any point that I had news and information about people they worked with, I could send it. And what was really, I knew it was getting through because out of 3,000 or 4,000 eventually the list grew to, we would get unsubscribes almost never. People really wanted the information. So much is based on the internet, whether it's filming of police officers who are stepping over their bounds, or the ability to mass communicate through social media. Anything that is that kind of electronics, things that we see have been going on forever. Don't think that the abuse or people trying to take away your rights or people trying to take control of a system are new just because we can see it. If I can give one word of advice to folks, I tell people, don't stand on a street corner with a sign. How many people will see you, as opposed to creating a website that you can get thousands of people a day to see your message and who will pay more attention to it. The best place to go to see most of my work these days is both Raw Story, RAW story.com, which is the news site, and you can see all the undercovered stories that we try to pick up on. And also, if you want to learn more about the organization I had, you can head to netrootsconnect.org and take a look at the collaborative projects that we're building over there.